Hello, Soul Junkie here. Probably know me from Free Step Dodge. Obviously, I'm gonna post the fucking shit there. So yeah, I wanted to make a video on the current state of DoA6, my opinions on it, and what I think Team Ninja is up to. Like they have a particular agenda that they're doing, and it reminds me of something. Remember Street Fighter Five? Well, I mean, I say remember, but who the fuck's playing Street Fighter Five here? Like seriously, like you're remembering the damn thing. It's a memory. It's gone. It's done. Okay, but you noticed how in the recent updates, I don't know what they have, advertisements over the character clothes. Like who the fuck uses that? Who was that? Who was that? 70 fight money extra for fucking putting it on? Who gives a shit? Anyway, it's very corporate. It's capitalism at its finest, man. It's fucking sellout. They're fucking selling out. That's what they did. Okay? And Team Ninja is doing the same exact thing, or at least I think they're trying to do it with DoA6. And the reason I think that is because number one, we had like a whole bunch of tournaments back then, right? I think Team Ninja probably funded some money, but I think most of those tournaments were like pot bonuses. People put their own money. So it's like this whole world tour that they're doing. They're trying to mimic what Tekken is doing. I think SoCal decided to do it now after freaking Kayane told Kogu, hey, you need to fucking do this shit because people want to see it. And I bring that up because the state of the game in terms of like mechanics, playstyle, it's very apparent what they're trying to do, right? Like before we had two sections of meter. One half, 50% at the time, used to do break holds, 100% break blow. Still does the same thing in sections, but now we have four sections. And you know what they do? Motherfucking sidestep attack is a damn dragon punch now. It might as well. Hey, it might as well be a fucking dragon punch, right? Street Fighter 5 with the meter. Hello? Street Fighter never fucking had meter for the reversals. Only some characters had to use meter. I don't know if they did this to just balance it across the board, but I just find it so stupid that we have a 3D fighting game fundamental element in the game that now costs meter. I don't know if they're just trying to create a certain mind game going on, but I think that's the actual problem with it, right? Like, I think, and I'm probably going to repeat a couple things I said on the status post, I think that it just influences playstyles. I think that people are going to notice the meters and they're either going to back off from pressure or like really think more so than they need to already with some of the matchups. I mean, you already have the character you have to learn, so why the fuck do I have to deal with meter now? Like, you just try to make it so that, oh, hey, I don't want to get pressured. And if you look at break holds, right, they hold anything. You can kind of tell that's kind of what they want. They want anyone to just come in and say, hey, I can play DoA. I mean, look, DoA is not the hardest game. It's already kind of pick up and play, hard to master kind of thing, right? So I don't understand why you need to make it more accessible. I think what they need to do is work on their marketing because holy shit, that was fucking bad, Shimbori. Shimbori said all this crap about, hey, we're not going to have... I'm not even going to go into it. You already know what the fuck it's about. It's not even important, man. It's just... It's stupid. And if you look at Street Fighter 5, right? They have Invincibles with meter. And then they have the stun gauge. Remember the stun gauge? Remember that in Street Fighter 3? That stun gauge, it either freaking stuns you right away or it didn't. And I think that stun gauge up on the top kind of influenced people's decisions. It made people play more erratic, more fucking when someone was about to get stunned. And there's so much pressure in that game with the freaking plus frames that it's like, well, you probably are gonna stun me either by throwing me or by just a little short light kick or some bullshit. And it's like, well, that's why reversals are needed, so that I can back off that pressure and maybe, hey, we can start anew here. I mean, if V reversals were any useful, but it's like, okay, we have that for, I guess, DoA6. We have break holds, but there's no stun gauge we have to worry about. All you're doing is breaking the pace back and forth. I mean, look at Soul Calibur 6, or should I say Soul Cinematic 6. You know how many slowdowns happen in a game? It gets tiring after a while, man. I might as well just grab the fucking popcorn and start watching it while I'm playing. Like, it's just too much. All these unnecessary mechanics. Like, reversal edge, what the fuck is, what? You already have guard impact. Why not just use that? You know, like, you don't need a bunch of freaking defensive mechanics. And it's funny how the game that needs defensive mechanics, Street Fighter V, doesn't have any. Because they know that's what Street Fighter players are good at. They're good at being defensive. They're good at keeping away players. They're good at just overall controlling the pace of the match. And I noticed with DoA, it's kind of the opposite, right? People are good at pressure. People are good at making you think about trying to just draw a holdout and just grabbing you high counter damage, you're done. And with, backing people off, it kind of does the opposite effect, right? And it's like you get so much damage for just grabbing a break hold. It's like I could just force that break hold out of you and just take 50% off too. I mean, yeah, there's a certain balance to it, but the game just ends so fast. There's no real thought process. You're kind of just going at each other, man. It's a fucking slugfest. Like, who the fuck learns from that? Like, you can adapt quickly by your opponent, sure, but I think that's exactly what they want people to do because it's becoming more corporate, more tournament-like. They want people to adapt quickly without that much thought process. So that's why this is their main game that they're pushing for tournaments, because in a tournament, you only have a first to two, or sometimes first to threes, depending on, if it's final round or not. Finals. And that's kind of what they're going for, right? They want it to be quick adaptation. They want people to just play erratic. You play more risky. I'm not saying that we can't adapt to it. Of course we're going to adapt to it. The good players always adapt to it. I just think it's silly that we're out here trying to appease to a community or people that don't exist, right? It's kind of like, remember Halo? Remember Battlefield? They had particular controls, particular play styles that they had. And you notice that the default controls, for example, like you had to press RS or right stick, whatever, to duck. And then they made it in the next game, you press B or circle. And I'm like, that's just like Call of Duty. Do they want to market to the Call of Duty players all of a sudden? I thought you guys were, going against each other. And I see that going on with Street Fighter V right now. They know Street Fighter V fucked up. They know that people probably are coming from Street Fighter and they're saying, you know what, let me try another fighting game. So they're putting in elements that they're familiar with. So you have meter in 3D fighting games. Like, what the fuck is that, man? I mean, Tekken sort of did it, but at least it still feels like a fucking 3D fighting game because you only get that when you have Rage, right? You have Rage. You have to get low health, right? So you can kind of deal with it. It's there. Soul Calibur, it's like, how fast is it getting fucking meter, man? I have to fucking just think about it all fucking day. How much meter does this guy have? Like, I could deal with the reversal edge here and there, but god damn, the meter, man. All it does is just ruin the pace of the game. And if that's what they want to do, so be it, man. But I just think we have to talk to Team Ninja before they make too much changes that we don't want. We have to make sure that this is going to be the game we're going to be playing for the next 5, maybe even 10 years. Anyway, whole junkie out.